We're rolling now. Okay, I had 10 seconds.
Just looked this up today online. This is-
I can't see with you can't even see with my glasses anymore. It's 6 o'clock. I'd like to open the meeting, and I think we have a young lady, or just one or several? Three? Oh my gosh. Would you please come up here and stand right in the front to say the pledge and give your names so this lady can hear 'em? And they want to see you on the camera right up front. Come right up here. Okay, tell her what your name is.
Anna.
Your last name?
Deal.
Deal, okay.
Olivia.
Oh, okay.
Olivia? Okay.
Cartier? Okay. All right. If you want to turn around and look at the camera right up there, you can stand us, please. See the camera up, the black thing by the clock on the left? All right, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Nice work. Better than me. Before I start, I'd like to take a couple of seconds. We lost a school board member, Lou Snyder. She was a strong voice in Milton, and I'd like to have a moment of silence. And then if any of the board members would like to say anything, they could put their hand up and I'd let them say it. Okay? Thank you. Earl, do you have anything to say?
You know, it was a great year, as Lou would say. It was a fantastic team that we all had here, from the students, staff, administration, parents. And it was kind of a magical year that we all can recall. She was an extraordinarily selfless person that in all of our conversations, it just radiated the love she had for the school and for every one of the students who coming to the assemblies, regardless of how she was feeling, what kind of pain. She would come to the school, attend the meetings, try to hear in, and the concern and passion that she had for every student in the school, and the students that would succeed them. It was kind of interesting. When she first came in, although we're the same age, she reminded me of my grandmother, who was the primary person in our home that worked. My dad died when I was 5. And she had a certain strength to her, a certain wisdom, and maybe it isn't what you wanted to hear, but what you had to hear. And when she became real sick, I said, you know, maybe this is kind of an angel that is sent down in my later years of life to just get to see for a year. And I do think that the passion she had for the students and the people in the school, and assuredly the people that she shared on the board, it became people that were very close to her and meant a lot to her. And I think we'll remember the great year that we had. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'll go on.
Go on.
I'll go back.
Come back. You have anything?
Well, I know I served with Lou on facilities, and I mean, she really cared a lot for the buildings, for the well-being of everything to do with that. She was very, very. She had a fire in her when it came to those kind of things, and about her personal beliefs for what was best for the students of Milton, and it was really nice to serve with her. And I know she asked me in the wintertime, and I didn't do it. I never gave her the ride in the convertible. I apologize, Lou. I tried, but it was winter and we couldn't do it, so.
She wanted to ride on the bike too.
Laura, do you want,
Yeah.
do you want to say
I
anything?
can't say anything, sorry.
Nate? Anybody in the audience?
Maybe
Okay.
I mean, I've really only known Lou for a year since I was appointed to the board last summer. And we became very close friends. And I miss her. That's it.
Okay, moving on, we got a couple of public hearings. Now, the first one is, are you, got the information on the first one, Nate?
I do, yeah.
Then, and this one's, you wanna tell the public?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. To expend unanticipated revenue from the Next Step mini grant for supplies to support transition and post-secondary education for high school students with disabilities and at-risk students. We had accepted this initial amount of $4,000 about a year ago, and we were awarded another $1,200, and that's what the public hearing tonight is for the additional $1,200.
I think I made an error, I have to have a motion, I think to open up the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the
Sorry,
public hearing.
I'm not up to par, people, I apologize.
I'll second that.
Paul?
Aye.
Doug, yes?
Peg, yes.
Okay. Get going, I apologize. $1,200?
Yep. It is for just supplies.
Just supplies?
So just make a motion to accept the
Okay.
additional $1,200 on the Next Step mini grant.
Yeah, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, oh, we kept closed, I'm sorry. I'm not doing a good job. Close the meeting first. Will you close it, Paul?
We have another one?
Yeah, after this one, yeah.
Do
Yeah.
we have to vote on that one?
Yeah, to close it, then we
So
go.
make a motion to close the first public hearing.
Okay,
I second that.
okay, Paul?
Aye.
Doug, aye.
Peg, aye.
Okay. Now, I guess that's it. Accept it, go ahead.
See the motion again.
Yeah, I'll make a
All
motion.
to accept. All right,
Yeah, you
Peg,
just asked me to
second.
say it again.
Yeah, making a motion to open
accept it.
the public hearing for this next.
Oh, no, I meant notice to accept the money.
We're accepting.
Oh, accept the money?
Yeah,
Yeah, aye.
okay, Doug, aye.
Peg, aye.
Okay, all right.
It is, once you close it.
Yeah, so I had to close it first. Okay, we'll take the money
Oh, I see.
And run.
and run.
Good question.
Uh, Larry?
Yeah.
A small observation, correct the minutes. Is there any member of the public who would like to ask a question or make a comment?
Yeah, anybody? Do it now. Guess not, moving on. Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
All right, next one, we got a public hearing to deal with the vote that we delayed for the voting. I need a motion to open.
Make a motion to open.
I second.
Okay, wait a minute. And Peg?
Aye.
Here I go, Larry. I got it written down this time. Any public comments? Okay. All right. I need a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Let's keep it simple.
Peg?
Paul?
Aye.
Peg, second.
Aye. Okay, aye.
Who's doing
I motion.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said.
Paul and then Peg. And Paul, aye. Okay, then what I gotta do is read the resolution out loud. The School Board of Milton School District pursuant to Chapter 20, House Bill 329 of the new 27 legislature session hereby legalizes, ratifies, and confirms all actions, votes, and proceedings held at the 2017 annual school district meeting, which was postponed due to a weather emergency. This action is taken after its properly noticed public hearing, and the notice having been published in the Foster Daily Democrat and having been posted on the school district website 72 hours prior to this action. A true contested copy of this resolution will be posted at a place of an annual school district meeting, will also would like copies to be posted at the Milton Elementary School and the Milton Town Hall, and on the school district website, with an original to be delivered to the school district clerk. All right. Okay, I need a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Paul?
A second?
Okay, Paul?
Aye.
Doug, aye.
Peg, aye.
It's been adopted. We need to sign it.
Me first.
Doesn't matter who's first. Give that to Paul, please. Now, what we need to attach to it is the voting results. Did each board member have a copy of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Would the public like to see that? That's gotta go with that. I think it goes to you.
Yes.
All right. So, I'll put that over there so the public can see it. And the date that it was posted in the Fosters is right here. Okay, moving on. Do I have any public comments? Guess not. Moving on. Minutes of the last meeting.
I move that we accept them with corrections.
Okay, I'll second them. Second it. Does anybody else have any corrections? You want me to wait a couple of minutes, Stephanie, while you get ready?
No.
Okay, proceed. Okay. No more corrections, other than Peg? Paul? Doug, aye.
Peg, aye.
Doris?
Aye.
Okay. 4 yes, okay. No superintendent report, Earl?
Superintendent report is that the principal search is in action.
Okay.
Meeting tomorrow night, the next Tuesday night. There's 15 people on the committee. 13 people will ask questions and give their input. Mr. Shute and I will be listeners and receive candidates as they come. So, a typical decision-making committee made up of several parents, several teachers, 2 students, some administrators. We are interviewing.
Speak up.
Oh.
I think that was one of the questions that was brought up at one of our last meetings, is we need to speak up.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll be
Usually
interviewing.
you don't have a problem with that.
Very bad cold. We'll be interviewing 3 people on Thursday, and 3 people on Tuesday for a total of 6. And then upon compilation of finalists, then they'll go on to the board, and then we can ascertain from there whether it would entail them coming to the district for a day or perhaps a visit to their current site. But as of now, this will be the initial screening of 6. And I'll give the input back to the school board on that. So it'll be Thursday, which is tomorrow night, and next Tuesday.
Okay. Is that all you have, Earl?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, student services report?
I'll stand up so people can hear out in the back or out in TV land. On the back of my student service report, I have a program cost analysis of the partner program that we put into place this school year. The cost of the program was $141,660. That covered from the 3rd week in August through June 30th of this year. all of the ABA, we have 6, we started with 6 ABA tutors, I believe we have 7 now, because I think we have 7 students in the partner program. And all of the original 6 ABA tutors were moved from one-to-one paraprofessional positions to ABA tutors. So the additional cost for their salary and benefits was $56,321.41. Estimated costs for ESY for last summer, that's extended school year, was $5,000. We spent $3,571.14 on equipment for the cubbies. That was a one-time cost. We spent $1,000 in supplies, however, that was paid for out of IDEA grant monies. So the total cost of the partner program for the 2016-17 school year was $206,981.41. Would we not have had this partner program, we had a couple of move-ins, and we would have, without a doubt, had 4 out-of-district placements out of the elementary school. I gave you a range because there's 2 schools in the area that pretty much can provide programming, 2 special ed schools in the area, so the range is around $96,000 to $110,000, give or take. And that is not including transportation. So had we not had the partner program and had to send these 4 out of district, we would have been in the range of $289,656 to $329,400 plus transportation. So while you can look at a budget and you may not see that there's a savings, you see a deficiency in the contracted service line, you would have seen a much higher deficit had we not had the partner program in place. We did have 4 unanticipated out-of-district placements this year. We had an elementary move-in, and then we had 3 high school placements, one which was a court-placed student, which was a total of $126,189.78. So if you take the partner program and the out-of-district unanticipated costs, it pretty much explains the $300,000 deficit that you see in the budget in special education. And you probably would have seen a higher deficit had it not been. I am not exactly clear what the status of the program is. My understanding is that we're moving forward with the partner program for next year. I would highly recommend it, based on, we know of 3 minimum students in the partner program now that we would not be able to program for if we didn't have it. And we don't know what our move-ins are going to be. We had 2 move-in last year that ended up in the partner program. So that's pretty much it. The front is just showing you where the numbers in the different placements, Milton Elementary School, middle school, high school, and then the out-of-district placements. Does anyone have any questions?
Just very quickly, Ann, if we didn't have the partner program and you added that plus the 4 out-of-district placements, but if we didn't have it and we had the, I use the high figure, but the 329,000 that would be placed out of district plus the 4 coming in, it would have cost us 455,000. So,
Yeah.
what was the savings? Sorry.
Yeah.
My numbers. I like numbers.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
If I could just add to that, the partner program, we also have a BCBA 1 day a week that comes from the same organization, New England Center for Children, and they support the kids that aren't quite as intense, but they approach it with the same model. It's an ABA approach to programming, and if I could ask that we get closure on those contracts being signed, it would be great, because they start placing their people in April, and I don't think we want to lose the good people that we have on board now.
Weren't we moving forward with it? The program?
Yeah,
So they don't have the contract?
no, just wanted you to know, so everybody's aware of it and supports it.
Okay.
So is there anything else you need from us?
No,
Okay.
we have your support.
Do we have to vote on anything?
No.
I do anyway. That-
What's
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry, I had, one more thing, I'd like to introduce Melissa Jean, I'm sorry, she is, effective July
Melissa
first,
Jean.
your new special ed director. I'll be going out on, having my second hip replacement in a week from today, so I'll be working with her via phone and all of that, and I anticipate being able to work more than I could the last time, because I know what to expect. But she'll be pretty much your point person.
Welcome.
Melissa, do you have anything to say, Melissa?
Hello? She's observant.
Okay.
She's in the Nate school.
The Nate School, I love it.
Okay, moving on, Mr. Scott Curry?
Sure. So at the month of last, basically since April vacation, the month of May has been state assessment month at Newt. We have, our students have been participating, our 8th grade students have been participating in the Smarter Balance exam, as well as the science kneecap. 6th and 7th grade also participated in the Smarter Balance exam. For Smarter Balance, there are 4 sessions per grade level, 2 for math and 2 for ELA, or English Language Arts. It's a computer adaptive computer test that the kids do online. It gives, is able to send the results to the state pretty quickly. The kneecap was completed for 8th grade and 11th grade over the last Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of last week. That is the traditional paper and pencil, where their 8th graders had to participate in 2 days of a multiple choice examination and then 1 day of an inquiry task. So they had a 90-minute timed lab, where the 11th graders had 2 days of a multiple choice exam, and the 3rd day involved them having been presented the process of a inquiry-based task, and they had to make they were making observations of how the task went, and they had to provide feedback. Obviously, one of the things that kind of makes it difficult for us is, you're having these multiple state assessments that come in all at the same time. So being able to schedule that in such a way that allows for as little disruption as possible to the rest of the students' academic day, while still getting meeting our state requirements. So I think I'd really like to thank our teachers and the rest of our administrative staff for what they've been able to do to kind of get kids to be able to get what they need to get done through this process. Finally, the other piece we also had students participate in the AP Psychology, Literature and Composition, and Geography exams here at Newt. So we had, I believe, 5 students who took the AP exam for Psychology. I think it was 4 students for Literature and Composition and 1 for Geography. So I think it's, obviously those are exams that are taken for kids who are looking to get college credit. So obviously it kind of shows some of the advanced work that some of our students are doing as well. 2 other things I did attach for you, the NWEA for fall and winter for 6th grade, I put that on there. That is their RIT band ranges, basically kind of like where they're scoring and it's really what you want to look at for 6th grade is the comparison of how if kids are moving from one spot to another. Obviously I can only kind of give you general numbers, not individual kids' names, but you kind of have an idea if there's some movement back and forth to see kind of what they're using. The NWEA or map testing is what our 6th grade team and our 7th and 8th grade teachers are using to kind of help and guide their instruction at the beginning of the year, kind of pre-testing, mid-year checkpoint, and then post-testing.
Scott, before you go on,
Yeah.
what is the level of the RIT score for?
They just put it in as the report I ran was just as your RIT band, so they really didn't level it, but more of so what you would see is, it would say, for example, if your band was between 230 and 250, and if you look at in NW in the map testing, it'd say from 230 to 250, the person who took the exam is able to do X, Y, and Z.
Right, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just asking, because I know that there is a grade level score for all grade levels.
Yep, I didn't run that as part of this part.
No, I know, but do you know what it is right off?
Not off the top of my head, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That was my question.
The other piece I want to kind of talk about, with the next piece on the report is, I did put in there, I just want to make the kind of the board aware, and maybe you guys want to have more conversations regarding it, with our SIG grant and our SIG funds for, the purchasing of what we want to do next for computers. What I attached is part of the original kind of outline of where certain monies would go for certain equipment. Currently, the only purchase we've made is the most immediate needs, which is replacing the computer labs in room 111 and room 132. So we have not purchased any other items up until this point. So I'm really kind of looking for, whether it's tonight, whether it's, a further conversation that we might want to have, just what is some direction as far as what do we want to be doing? Do we want to move forward with continuing with the purchasing of, replenishing carts? Do we feel like the money could be used in a different direction? Kind of what do we want to be doing? The other part of this is if we are looking to purchase computer equipment, we're at a time as far as where we are in the year is that equipment won't be in and ready by the end of this school year, so we can kind of start thinking about what it would look like for the fall. Yeah.
Didn't we buy computers for the library also?
Yes, there's about 6 computers, I believe, that are in the.
Then we placed in the library.
They're probably in the library as well. Those are kind of lumped in because when you buy a full lab, the amount of seats that we actually have in our lab and what our vendor would consider a lab is the number for their lab is a little bit more, so we're able to kind of swing those into the library.
It shows 9 on here though.
Is it 9 or 6?
I believe it's 9. I just off the top of my head.
Oh, that's good, okay.
Yeah.
She questioned it.
Okay.
It's 9, okay.
All right, one of the things, Scott, that I had thought about after our last meeting on this, all this great computer equipment,
Sure.
looking at software,
Yep.
like some really, and I know this was one of Lou's passions too,
Mm-hmm.
to further students' ability and education with a lot higher level software.
Right. And
So I don't know if you've looked into any of that or if you've had any of the math teachers, science teachers.
We've looked into it a little bit, and to be honest, Peg, it's one of those things that kind of goes hand in hand because we look at some of the hardware that we have that is becoming, that's becoming dated. So some of the
Right.
software that's coming out isn't supported by the hardware that we have. If that makes sense.
Right, but the new stuff I'm thinking of is that you've got all this new stuff, you want some more new hardware.
Right.
And I think to go along with the hardware, it would be nice if you could look for updated, advanced software.
Right. What is the program that goes with it and the equipment that goes with it?
Well, even beyond, I'm talking about not just updated software for everyday use.
Right.
I'm thinking maybe some engineering software for the math classes, for the science classes.
Right. We're talking like robotics, coding.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
kind
a
of
lot of
things.
that
Exactly.
stuff. My
Yeah.
passion for a 3D printer with
Right. I
CAD
think
work.
we have kids at school right now that are interested in coding.
There you
and
go.
if you look at something like that where, and I know they do every year, they have the hour of code that kids can participate in. I know our librarian, participates in that with our kids and use that opportunity. That's not necessarily a hardware component. That's more of a software on what you're using. So I think that's just kind of, we just want to make the board aware that this was one plan that was put together that was strictly looking at the physical laptops of it, or computer pieces that we'd have, and just kind of saying what direction do we want to go in. If it's less on hardware and we kind of, like you're saying, more on the different opportunities for advanced work.
right,
for our kids.
right.
Now, the total grant was 272?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, but see, I think I questioned what was being done because I think $100,000 of that money was gonna be spent on putting a phone system in the high school.
Yeah, we've talked about, we have put around some different ideas of what to use, because the other piece of it is looking at it as how to be, in a sustainable way. We thought, the other piece we thought about as far as using these monies for is a technology piece that would also, in the idea of talking with Bob Adams in regards to the phone system, is that it would allow a couple things. One, it would allow for teachers to directly communicate with parents and have a communication regarding how their students are doing. You know, right now, our teachers share one phone in the teacher's room. So if they want to call parents, and if it's during the day, you better be hoping someone's not eating lunch next to you. Because that's, obviously, you don't want to be, you know, if you're having a conversation with a parent about their child, you don't want it to be overheard by somebody eating their, you know, their sandwich. The other piece that we looked at, and we've had this, unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but it's a lot, it kind of made us kind of look about what we're doing. You know, we have had, this year, we've had 3 different instances where I've been calling 911 and having an ambulance arrive at school or at a school function. And with that in mind, you know, if there is a emergency that is happening inside of the classroom, it's a, you know, with the way the new phone systems are, you can call 911 and they can, from where the call is coming from, not only say it's at Newt, but rather, not only is it at Newt, but it's in room 109. So there's no longer any, I show up and now where do I go? You know, when, with someone like, if emergency personnel show up at the school now, it's someone's at the door saying, please follow me, as opposed to, I already know where I have to go.
Wouldn't that $100,000 request go to the facilities committee first?
I believe it would, you know, and I think one of the things that we were just kind of looking at is how we had this chunk of, you know, this opportunity for this grant. We could use it for our computer piece, you know, as far as the students is used, you know, what they could meet their needs, but also what could we also look for from the facility structural standpoint as well. But we can certainly bring it to facilities.
Thank you. Do you have anything else?
Just really quick, just some events that are coming up. Senior banquet is tomorrow night. As you know, the year is just quickly moving right along. Senior banquet's tomorrow night. Prom is on June 3rd. The spring athletics sports banquet is Monday, June 12th. And also, just a friendly reminder that graduation for high school is the 16th at 7 o'clock. And promotion for middle school is the 22nd at 6.
No, I think the other thing we need to do as a board, we voted last year to include the credits of 20 in with the 24.
Yes, we did.
Now, I think we need to make a policy change, don't we not?
Yes, last year the board made the decision to basically lift the policy that only students who are earning a 24 credit diploma could walk. The board decided to lift it just for the one-time event, and I think that was the idea, was that a lady would come back as policy. So I don't know at this time if you want to, Mr. Shute, if you want to look at it as lift it again,
Yes.
and then visit the policy over the summer.
Yeah.
Because I think the next board meeting you have is 2 days before graduation.
Yeah,
I feel
go
it's
ahead.
like.
So there's a policy now. Which policy is it? I feel like we've been talking about this like 500 times.
We talked about when we had our, if you look at the graduation requirements policy, even one of the things it talks about is that, you know, they talk about having a new high school diploma as the one that allows you to participate in ceremonies.
I guess maybe it was how I was reading it. I just didn't read it as that's what it said. And I went through all of them. I didn't see the line where it says only the kids doing this option get to walk.
I would say that I think one thing, I think it would provide clarity, because I think at least in practice it has always been that up until last year we had, and I will say this to the board, that I got a tremendous amount of positive feedback, because normally the kids who are earning the Milton School District diploma, you know, there's a process that, you know, it's normally it's kids who've struggled, and we've kind of done some things to kind of get them back on track, and they've, you know, kind of earned their way back to that to graduate on time. So we got some really nice positive feedback for allowing that to happen. So I think at least in practice, that's what we've been doing. I think clarity at the minimum. I think that'd be just a good move.
Now, Stephanie has looked at this, and it was one of her proposals
Yes.
to change it. So I'd like the board, if they would, get a motion and a second to allow them to march again this year in the graduation, and we'll change the policy.
I'll make a motion to what you said about them being able to walk for graduation.
I'll second it.
Do I have any more discussion?
We'll go back and review the policy and
Oh, I think
changes as
Stephanie's already
necessary.
done that. I think she's already written it.
Can you clarify what you're supposed to
To allow students.
No, I haven't. So let's be clear, but I don't know which policy it is.
Well, you did. You wrote it at a meeting, and we didn't. You bring it forward.
In the meantime,
Right.
if we just give authorization,
Right.
Scott can work with the graduating class and plan it. Great.
No problem.
That'll
That's
give you-
students,
Basically, students with less than 24 credits,
the state requires
which the state requires, can still walk at graduation.
with 20.
Yeah, there's two deployments just for clarity. The state only requires a 20 credits
What 20, sorry.
for graduate. Yeah, I just want everybody to think that,
Get it
you know.
wrong. Sorry.
So 20 credits is what the state requires, Newt High School requires 24.
So I think it should be kids or students who obtain the state requirement of 20 credits or the Newt requirement of 24 credits are eligible to walk in the ceremony.
Do they get the last
You're
4
right, I
credits
did
after?
put
No,
words
that's
to
their
that.
state
I don't know
diploma.
where
So
it went.
20's it.
They're
Okay.
done.
It's not called the Newt diploma, it's a Milton.
Milton,
school.
there's a Newt High School diploma is the one that's 24, and then we call the other one a Milton School District diploma.
So, yeah.
I think we need to take a moment to ensure that we're doing this completely succinctly, because in my many years, one of the higher stakes thing that people get emotional about is whether their student goes across the stage, so to speak. So whatever we're changing, let's make it very clear so that there's no gray area. I mean, I'm all for whatever you do, but we need to be sure that we're all understanding what it is.
Right, it's opening the door instead of where before the kids who were only earning the 20 credits weren't allowed to walk. So this is allowing the kids to walk. So I don't think anyone would.
No, but,
In the policy change, we should just take a good look at it.
yeah, so everybody
Separate
knows
from this.
specifically.
Right.
We walk away from here knowing specifically what we voted for, who this involves.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying,
Yeah, and
Scott?
I would look at the policy sooner rather than, it's just while it's still fresh, while we're still kind of thinking about it.
Paul? Douglas, aye.
Hang on.
Stephanie, I.
Okay, we're all set.
Thank you.
So what is the time frame then?
Only the time
I
frame.
mean, what did we all agree to then?
Well, we agreed to let them walk this time, and then we're gonna we're gonna revisit the policy before, obviously, the next
Good.
session.
Good, okay, great.
Mr. Shute, do you need student services anymore? Are you
No,
all set with us?
unless you have something to say before you leave.
I don't think so, I think we're good.
No, so thank you very much.
Bye.
Next time,
Melissa had
Melissa.
like a log report, right? Isn't this the
Quiet
report?
observer.
Way to go.
And best of luck with the surgery.
Thank you.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
yes, definitely,
I'm
and
glad I couldn't go through that.
Oh, once you've hit the first one, you can't wait to do the second one.
Oh, okay, all right. I believe you then.
Then you do a shoulder.
It's come to a Wakefield.
and then the other shoulder, and then the knees.
Decision in Wakefield.
When is Wakefield?
Uh,
Oh, they can,
Uh, John Spina does have a letter in here, but he was ill and could not be here tonight. But did everybody read the letter?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, all
good
right.
job.
Moving on.
semi-retired.
Going to the Damon House update.
Actually saw Bob Adams today at the garage getting his car fixed. and
Good,
going over
go ahead.
some things, so it's pretty good.
Go
Floors
ahead.
are all in, floors look very professional. Very low maintenance flooring, so if they have an issue, they can just strip the floor and reseal the floor. They just have a couple of key punch items left, punch card stuff like, the locksmith is coming tomorrow. They just have to program the key fobs. And, I think that's just little tiny things, and 29th of June's moving day.
You gotta put the air conditioner in the data closet.
Yep, put the air conditioner in, so very few things
Closet,
left.
why?
The data closet.
Keep it.
Oh, I'm sorry,
All
it's
the
like-
software. yeah.
Okay, let's
I
put it in
mean,
the
keep all the-
bathroom
the
so that
servers
nobody else
and things,
gets it.
uh,
When we get hot, we go into the closet.
Yeah. I do wanna make one comment, and I've not spoken to you, Paul, about this, but, I mentioned to Lou a while ago, something about, the building is white, I think a nice colored door and make it pop. And, well, what color? And I said, I don't know, red always looks good against white. So, last Wednesday when I was visiting her, she goes, so how's the red door? I'm going,
Not
red
red.
door? Red door? What red door? Oh, the red door! Well, I haven't painted it yet, Lou. And she said, well, you'd better. So, I told her that day, a little too late, that I would paint it and I would take a picture to show her. So as a facilities person, would you mind if I mean, I will buy the paint, whatever, and I will go paint it for Lou. Okay.
Can you put a sign on it, Lou's door?
Lou's door, Lou's red door. Peg's red door, approved by Lou.
But use the back door.
Yeah, don't use that red door.
There was some other things that maybe I didn't think Bob told you. We got issues at the old SEO that we gotta take care of. We gotta shut down security. We gotta transfer the electrical bill,
Yeah,
the propane,
phones.
get rid of the phone, yeah, there you go, go ahead. We gotta move the sign, change our address, and then we're gonna need some volunteers to go in and mud the walls.
What, oh, the old place.
At the old one.
The old-
I think we need to have half
I'm sorry.
Milton and half Wakefield.
Who said it needed to be volunteers?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. I'm like, manual labor's not my thing.
No, it's no
I-
longer
I will
a
supervise.
volunteer.
So you're saying you're the brains of the operation?
He's going to start appointing Stephanie.
I'll cheerlead from.
Okay, all right, I just said that.
While on the subject of that, Doug, the one thing Bob brought up today too, he's gonna bring up at the next meeting is I guess on the old Newt, while they're doing some stuff, they were doing some work, they found at the very top of the chimney, there's a couple of bricks that are loose up there.
Yeah.
So, they were gonna call the fire department to come up and use their ladder or whatever, just, training for them. I guess the ladder had an issue. So I guess someone's coming in with a drone with a camera on it, and they're gonna fly the drone over the chimney and take some pictures of the chimney and see do an assessment of what it looks like up there. Pretty cool.
Is that the drone that they use at the fire department? by any
Yeah,
chance?
it belongs to a
Maybe.
fireman.
Yeah, so yeah, Devin,
Yeah,
Devin, I think he's bringing his drone, they're gonna fly it up.
I
It's
love
literally,
it.
it's like it's when you walk, like where the tanks are.
Yeah.
It's that chimney right there, and it's like, it's the top.
Precarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Alright.
the top.
so that's it.
I don't know if this is the time. You can tell me if it's not.
It's not.
No,
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. I'm
Well,
sorry.
talking about the Damon House, a few of us have already started talking about it, but we'd like to do a dedication for Lou, kind of celebrating the opening of the Damon House. I was able to speak with Kelly, and I'm sorry, I forgot your last name, Kelly of Pat's Prims. She's willing to donate Kelly Chase. She's willing to donate a nice bench that is going to have two planters on the side, so that will have flowers. And I'm looking into a plaque that can be put on the bench, so I figured that could go right outside the Damon House somewhere. And we were going to look into
Tree.
looking
Tree,
for a tree to either be donated or buy at cost, and then do a kind of a community invite.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
that's
we'll
what
keep you
we're
all
trying
posted
to
on that.
work on,
Thank you very
unless
much.
anyone has objections to
No
it.
objections, none at all. Yep, proceed.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, policies, first reading. Now, what I did is, I wasn't too sure what I was supposed to do, so Larry, I called the attorney. I did listen to your advice. So technically, I don't have to read them verbatim, so if anybody wants any copies, they're over there on the table. All right.
Perfect.
Okay,
Good job.
all right.
Good call.
All right, the first one is, I'll just say with the ACE, unless Stephanie would like to do it. I'll put her in charge of policies.
I can do it. So these were just the updates from the New Hampshire School Board. None of these were updates initiated by us.
Mandatory updates per
Right.
interest
Right.
in the state, yep.
So the first one is ACE procedural safeguards. Is that all I have to say then?
Yeah, that's great.
The second is BEDG-R access to minutes and public records.
Question on that one,
Yep,
madam. We gotta put a price in there.
okay.
Down, number 4, insert a fee amount, do we wanna charge, or?
What is typical at like Staples or something, isn't it 25 cents or
No.
something? 10
5
cents?
5 to 10.
5, yeah.
5 cents?
10.
Okay, 5 cents.
Do I have a motion to put 5 cents in there?
Do you have a motion?
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay. Paul?
Aye.
Doug, aye?
Hey, guy?
Okay,
Stephanie?
okay, 5 cents it is. Yeah, moving on.
EBBC, emergency care and first aid. I guess the only question I wanna double check is, we had already gone over this one, so I guess I'm surprised to see it again. Are we all set with the Narcan thing? Because if this goes through, then we need to have it, or if we don't have it and something happens, we're gonna be in trouble.
But Nick suggested that we not carry Narcan at the school.
So should we do we wanna just take that whole part out?
I would like, yeah.
So strike the entire,
Bottom part there, starting with, yeah,
yeah.
naloxone.
Naloxone.
Yep. From there down.
Now, I was confused about the next sentence up, or paragraph above that.
The district makes it possible for parents to subscribe to student accident insurance at low rates.
Don't we offer student
Yeah, there is
accident
something.
insurance? Yeah.
There is something.
No, but read the last
This
sentence.
program is offered each year during September. The district does not provide
Right.
student accident insurance.
So what the,
So the district
They don't
does,
provide it, they
right.
offer it.
Offer it
Right.
only, okay,
Parents
nah.
can elect it and pay for it if they would like.
okay, all right.
Do we need to have a motion to strike that, or we're
I'll
all
make a,
set?
You making a motion, Doug, to strike
oh,
that?
wait, I think it's stuff on the back.
Yeah, all of it on the back.
It's the same, yeah, all of them back, striking that Narcan, that's all put on Narcan.
Okay, all right.
Wait, I think this is regular medication.
Yeah, that's regular
It's
medication.
regular
I think it's
medication?
regular medication.
Well, it says
The
about
superintendent-
opioid antagonists, and the last sentence says is authorized to procure such medication. The next says that all such medication shall be stated clearly marked.
Yeah, the word such. I don't
So I
know.
think
Alright.
it's strictly
Wait a
for
minute.
that,
Yeah, because this is emergency.
yeah. And the top word says
Yeah.
virus aid, I don't know what that means.
Alright,
So, are you striking on that?
I guess I'm just to play a little devil's advocate, I just feel like if the New Hampshire School Board is recommending this, and we as an independent school board, I understand the fire chief put his 2 cents in, but if we elect not to do it and something happens, where does that, as far as liability? Cause I feel like they could file a lawsuit saying you went against what the New Hampshire School Board Association recommended and didn't have Narcan at
Did
the
he
school.
say if it was on the ambulance? Because most times it's on the ambulance, so you would get it. That's how it was at the jail.
Yeah, that's,
And
Yeah.
then we started
Well,
carrying
it's
it.
a recommendation, it's not an offer,
Okay.
you know what I mean, it's
I
just,
just,
yeah, it's a school board recommendation.
alright, so taking out all the back stuff.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Do you
Paul?
have legal references?
Aye.
Mm.
yeah, probably.
Okay,
Well, not the emergency
Doug,
care
aye.
ones, but-
Okay.
Barry, aye? Oh.
Okay, I'll stop.
Alright,
Motion, sorry.
I did, and Paul seconded.
the next one is EEA, Student Transportation Services.
Change the first one. Transportation,
Right.
I don't know what that.
And I have one other correction on the resolution of conflicts.
Yeah.
We don't, the board, transportation committee, we don't have one.
So just appear before the board.
Boards, school board.
Yeah.
We capitalize school board, please.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You know, I have a big thing about that.
Like,
Both school boards, capital S,
This
C,
is-
H, O,
this
O,
changing to-
L,
capital B.
and capital
Oh, no.
B, yes.
Right there.
We're like,
Alright.
Yeah,
God.
sorry.
We are. Wow.
I'll make a motion that we make that change.
I second the motion,
Doug and Paul.
Barry, aye?
Heard I?
say aye?
Well, you're right on top, thanks.
Yeah. The next one is, I wanna get home to watch Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
Oh, God.
It's the revival. It's the whatever remake.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
Keep
joking.
going.
exciting life.
I'm joking. All right, what's the next one? EEAA, video and audio records on school.
Recordings.
Well, it says records on school
Oh.
property. All right, recordings on school property. She is somewhere picky tonight.
I just have a question now.
Yeah.
Do we have signs posted that we have video, we're
Right.
recording in our buildings? Because it says we should. will be
Well,
posted.
should is a recommendation.
Signs will be
right?
posted on school buildings to notify students.
I actually think
How
that's a
about we-
law.
Yeah,
I think it's a law, because what my previous job, there was video cameras, we had to post it, there
Yeah,
were
I think
cameras,
we
and
have
you are
to.
being recorded.
mhm.
So we need to get a,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know there's, I mean, obviously it's known that they're
Well, they know that.
recorded, but
In the main entrance.
But a new person should come in and,
Mhm.
is that a note to Bob you're making?
Yeah,
Who's
could be a
making?
Yeah, note to Bob.
yeah.
Should be facilities, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
note to
okay.
Bob.
And
Or just have notes.
does it have to be like, do they mention like what kind of signage specifically?
Just
Or
says
just
Signs.
a-
note that you're being recorded, or that staff, student, staff, and visitors are being video and audio, or maybe being
Doesn't-
video and audio recorded.
Yeah, the signs only need to say the video and audio.
I think there's some
recording.
generic ones.
So we're gonna have to do it
They
all.
just have to say, video and audio recording devices may be in
Maybe.
use.
Just
Exactly, that's
Good
exactly
job.
it right there.
Just put it
It's,
at,
it's right there.
So you're saying just putting at entrances where the public would come in?
Main
Yep.
entrance, yep.
Yep,
No, all of them.
all of the entrances.
I think as
Well-
long as there's one, you're
I
covered.
don't know, I think I
I'd
do
say all of the
The
entrances.
primarily used entrances, like obviously the front door of Old Newt doesn't get used, we're not gonna put one there.
Right.
You know what I mean, like.
The
Any
primary
entrances like the back,
entrances.
like at the high school, the main entrance. Yep.
And
The
then
one from the back parking lot,
and the
The back.
and then the
cafeteria.
one from the cafeteria.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to do it at MES too then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we record at MES?
I don't know.
There's
Yeah.
Well, they
I would
should.
assume they do.
Yes, there is.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like a half dozen signs.
I've been doing things wrong and I'm being recorded.
You and
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Larry.
You might want to up the ante, saying by people who enter the facility do so on the understanding that they may be subject to audio and video surveillance. And in addition, post all secondary access doors that all visitors and non-authorized personnel shall report to the main door for entrance.
Do you want to take care of the signs?
I,
It's hard to do that though if you have a sporting event and they don't go in the main door, they use alternate doors for sports.
They're
that's
still
what
being
it says.
videoed.
As,
Right.
But it's just he's saying if it says that, then someone can't come back and say,
that a
no
per-
one told me.
The advantage, I'm sorry if I may, the advantage of the phrase non-authorized is that a person at a sporting event or entering for other purpose is covered by the definition. Basketball game,
Right.
dribble away.
All right, the next one is EF, food service management. The next one is GBCD, background investigation and criminal records check.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right, so a couple of people have talked to me about the fingerprinting part. I know we've beaten this up once. It was
And I
just-
don't think we came to a
Yeah,
decision.
well, it was just in the news last week of a substitute teacher just getting arrested for something. So, I mean,
Drug trafficking.
you get your, yeah, you saw that. I don't know, I think the fingerprinting thing it's a hard thing to do as far as, I know in Boy Scouts, they don't make you fingerprint to be, you know, you do get, you know, you fill out a small questionnaire or something like that, but if someone's gonna do it, they're gonna do it. Regardless whether they're fingerprint or not, they can get fingerprinted the next day, get arrested for drug trafficking. I don't know, and that's precluding a lot of volunteerism,
Yeah.
so I don't really know. if
Did
that's
that
something
teacher
we
have a
should-
prior record?
It's just an out-of-state.
I'd say,
or-
but no.
Right, so even fingerprinting wouldn't have shown.
Exactly, and that's why I'm kind of bringing that up now. Maybe
Right.
we should, you know, revisit the fingerprinting thing.
I agree. I think that it's been a really big barrier to a lot of parents participating. I think we've gone back and forth and I don't think there's been a really clear answer. Did we, where if they're going on a field trip where they're around a bunch of teachers, they don't need it, but if they're gonna be one-on-one with students multiple times, like, you know, on a regular basis, they do need it. Was that the decision? Was that the final decision?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Cause
if
I
they're
guess
out
I'm
in
comfortable
bunch of
with that one. I guess if someone is wanting to volunteer like every single day.
then they should probably do that. But if they're just going on, you know, if they're going, for instance, a New York City field trip, leave them out.
Right.
You don't need to be fingerprinting, you're gonna be with other dozens of adults. and-
Actually, you are you have to be fingerprinted for the trip.
Yeah, because you're staying in a
Yeah.
hotel
Oh,
with the
'cause
kids
you're
too.
staying,
Yeah.
right.
And you're
Um,
alone
Yeah, I think the
sometimes.
other part of it too is also, are you alone with kids?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, should be
That's the
the,
big part.
that's the thing that should be, I think, adjusted for this.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that we talked about too was if I want to come in as a substitute para educator, but I'm in a classroom with a teacher at all times,
Then we didn't have.
then I did not have to be fingerprinted.
Right.
Yeah, definitely checked,
Right.
but no fingerprinting because I was never alone with students.
Right.
So,
But I think that's a hard mandate to put, because usually if you're coming in to substitute and say the teacher needs to run the back, like, I just think there's multiple times where.
well, I know, but you're not gonna do anything hopefully in 5 minutes if they,
Well, I
you
guess,
know the
it's- I
teacher's
guess
coming back.
that kinda hits it as well. Substitute teacher, you're there to
Yes.
substitute teach.
Yes.
You're gonna be there multiple times,
Right.
maybe a month in between, as opposed to a parent that volunteers for going skiing at Gunstock for a day.
Right.
That's kinda what I'm getting at, with other adults, with other teachers.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, you still may go down the hill alone, but if it's gonna happen, it's going to happen.
Was that
When there's a
on
will,
here?
there's a way, and unfortunately, that could happen, but we should kinda tweak this a little bit, the fingerprint portion of it.
Where is the fingerprint portion? I don't even see it on this one.
What's your take?
I agree with everything you're saying. The only part of it is when
It's the
people-
fourth paragraph down right above criminal records check. Shall pay fees and costs associated with the
Okay,
fingerprinting
fingerprinting,
process.
all right. But that kind of says for whom the board requires a criminal records check.
Well, we require any volunteer to get fingerprinted.
But there are exceptions to this, if you read volunteers. You need to check IJOC. I meant to read that. But also, what I didn't know, and that was on the back of this, on page 33, there's 2 sentences at the bottom. I guess at any time, the board can require anybody to take another records check. If you read that last 2 sentences.
Of any employee at any
Yeah,
time.
any criminal, the board may require a criminal check of any employee at any time.
You're designated.
So this, is this specific to employees?
That's what it says, yeah.
I guess we'd have to figure out where it says under volunteers, where it says volunteers not categorized as designated volunteers.
Yeah, you gotta look that up.
Will not be subject to background investigation.
So it sounds like you want us to look at policy IJOC.
Yeah,
Yes.
I meant to do it and I didn't do it.
Yes, ma'am.
So this one is more speaking to employees.
Must be, yeah.
So we do, so does this, well, yeah, I guess I had to pay for it. I always think that's interesting. For me to become an employee, I had to pay to get fingerprinted.
I didn't have to pay. I mean, I was, but I didn't have to pay.
Wonder if the teacher has to pay for their certification.
I know,
Yeah.
true.
Okay. All right.
Alright, so we're good on that. We're not making any changes to that, we're just gonna look at the volunteer one. Next one's GCQ, non-renewal, termination, and dismissal of certified staff. Okay, all set on that one? Next one's IHBA-R, procedural safeguards for children with disabilities. Next one is IHBAA, evaluation requirements for children with specific learning disabilities.
Before we move on, I have one more. I've added. And it's a hard one. Does the board want to replace Lou's position?
Well, I know it's a hard one, but I think we have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we just had elections 2 months ago, so it's gonna be a long time without,
Yeah, over 8 months, good 8 months.
if it was a few months from election, I'd say no. But
I'm just asking the board, I don't
yeah,
want,
we're gonna have to post.
so we're gonna have to put it out and, letters of intent, all right? Anybody's interested, we need some letters of intent to finish out Lou Snyder's,
Do you know how long she is?
Well, is it, or is it just
Just
to the end of next
So just be
March?
till
Next
March?
March.
Right.
No,
there'll be 3 people running.
her and I were elected
I know,
at the
but when you
same
appoint
time.
somebody,
Goes for-
Oh,
So
sorry,
you have to run.
sorry.
So there'll be 3 vacancies in March. Well, 3 people running,
Who's the third?
you and I and Lou Snyder. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that we decide to run it. Okay, the other thing is, we took care of it, I know, and that was graduation combination, we took care of that one. It was on my, you jumped the gun, Paul.
What did I do?
Committee and board member reports at the end, we already did
Well,
that.
I didn't do, we didn't have a board.
You
we
had-
didn't have
Well,
a
he kind of did it with
Have
Damon
the-
House.
Oh, that, you did it, okay, Paul, I'm sorry. Just giving you a hard time, Paul, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, any public comments?
I have one old business item.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to just pass this out as far as just a little bit of research. Maybe take one of this, I don't know if there's enough for sure. It's referenced the school lunch thing we talked about before.
oh,
This is a different town, I don't know if I can say what town it is, but it's local. Basically, I'll kind of paraphrase what it is. The bookkeeper and cashier of each building will send a reminder notice home for student-provided lunch without payment. Students will be permitted to charge up to 3 lunches. If the payment's not received for the charged lunches prior to the next mealtime, they will be provided an alternative brown bag lunch consisting of X, Y, and Z. The cost of the alternative meal will then be added to the outstanding balance. Up to 3 alternative meals will be offered, but without prior payment. If full payment is not made or alternative arrangements made, students will not be permitted to charge additional lunches until the balance is paid.
Pretty sure that's
Wow.
illegal.
What?
It will be, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I just
it
wanna
will
put
be.
that out there, that there is policies out there now. I got a $30 bill this week for one of mine that, I don't know how it gets that far.
I know,
think-
it
I don't
was,
mind getting it. What?
I said it was amazing. Right after you told us, I got emails. Right after.
It did take us a while to figure out how to get that email to work.
But I guess you said we're supposed to get like a low balance email?
There, if it drops below a $10 positive balance,
I did get that one.
you get an email, and
I
then
got
once
a
it
couple
gets
after.
below this, you get another one.
And then someone else got 3 emails. One was 22 over, one was 17 over, and one was $20 over.
We probably should be recording this to school board
Still not
members.
working.
I have nothing to hide. This
I'm gonna
is
say-
something that, this is a whole system issue of, this is what's going on. Kids are being fed and parents don't know about it.
And it's
Same
the
thing
extras
happened
they get too, though, the drinks and the snack
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
same
It's
thing
instead
happened
of
to me.
lunch.
And so I think that it's great, now that I'm getting the email, I'm gonna send in a payment, that's,
But I wish we had something instilled that, like for instance, the students I'm talking about, they have a lunch sent with them every single day.
right.
They should not be allowed to get lunch. They just, I don't like this, and they go get lunch and they charge it out, and then all by surprise, they're $50 in debt between the 3 kids. It shouldn't be that
It's
way.
very hard to make a black and white policy though, because I'm dealing with a student that I'm working with whose mom did put a block on their account. This student comes, has nothing to eat, goes searching at the nurse's office, goes searching in my office, goes searching here, all because the parent doesn't want that balance, but yet the parent's not making sure that the student is coming with. So it's hard to make that
Right.
because unless the teacher searches their bag, a teacher, I don't know how to write in a policy, the teacher must ask the student if they have lunch, the teacher must make the student go through their bag to double check that they don't have lunch. I don't know, it's just getting very specific.
I think the other thing is when I watch kids go through lunch line, because I know with with cafe services, they have, it's that they talk about being Strive for Five, and they have those 5 categories that kids have to bring in on their lunch tray. They have to have 3 of the 5, a grain, a milk, and a main dish, whatever it may be. And, and I'll have kids who will come through that they'll have 3, let's see, they say the name is 3 out of 5, so they can qualify for the, for the cafe service, get the reimbursement, like the government reimbursement. But it's interesting, like, when a kid comes through and let's say has 2 out of the 5, or has 3 items, but they're all in the same category, let's say it's 3 milks, I'm just making this up, then that's considered now being charged at an individual a la carte rate, which is a lot higher than what it is as a meal, because cafe services cannot turn that around and get the reimbursement. So I do think there's a little bit, regardless of what direction the board decides to go, there's an education piece that I think almost needs to happen with both parents and students, because they're going through saying, but I got lunch, and they did.
Right.
But they got 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that's everything's out of the grain category, and you didn't get milk, and you didn't get a fruit, and you didn't get a vegetable. So yeah, you had lunchtime, you ate food, but it wasn't charged like that. It was charged like individual, your sandwiches $1.50 a pop or whatever it may be, as opposed to here's the price for what your lunch is. Yeah.
What would happen if, I just know in another school district, when a child's balance gets down to, you got a couple more bucks, they're told, and then something does go home, saying that, your child's balance is
Well,
only a
that's
couple
what-
of dollars, so that
That's what
they're
we're-
not going over. And then parents know, yeah, I've gotta send a check in.
So now it's just an email going
That's
home
what the
doing
emails
that.
are for, because
They're,
we
But wait a
can't
minute.
guarantee if we give it to a child that
No,
they're gonna give it to
no,
their
no,
parent.
no, I'm saying it goes home to the parent, but it's kind of like, okay, kid, you only got another day or 2 of lunch. We're sending something home before the child goes over, not after the child goes over.
right, the email is going home before.
It is,
Yep.
okay,
I got
alright.
an email
Once
saying
it goes
it's,
below $10 positive, they start getting emails saying
Okay,
it's getting low.
okay, alright.
This is another thing too, I don't know if you read it, it said if a student has exceeded 6 days of unpaid meals, the student will be assisted in contacting a parent or guardian from school prior to lunchtime for a bag lunch from home or payment of the unpaid balance.
Whoa,
Yeah, that's the last sentence for each one.
You ought to be lucky you only have 2 kids. You could have had 6 or 12 kids, and then you'd really be in trouble.
What?
You're lucky. Just got 2 kids.
this is just I think it's important to keep track of. I think we've been seeing it go down
Thank you.
steadily each year. I think now they've implemented this higher technology, so that's good. I think it's gonna be this balancing act, because you see nonstop right now in the news of kids being shamed, kids being, and I think it's just,
I guess I'd like to see an end of the year total of what wasn't paid, just to see.
Well,
I think we got that.
I can supply that at any time. I can just go right
Just
on
like
news
total-
kits
give
and
me,
say,
give me till
say
June.
this is how much, because it does change every
What?
day.
I said, give me till June.
Oh my god.
okay.
I think, Paul, you also want to be clear about who is contacting parents for the unpaid balance.
Well, it just says school, I'm just going by what this says.
I know, no, I
School
know.
officials,
No, I
so I
know.
don't know who that is or
So,
what they do,
And I
but
think the reason I say that is I know, like, for me, sometimes, I think for a while it was myself, and I'll use the principal, Paul, was also contacting parents for the unpaid balance, and it kind of made it difficult for some families, because now it's what are the 3 reasons I call? We're canceling school, your kid's in trouble, or I want your money. That's not that kind of puts me at a tough spot.
It should be handled at the office, at the SAU office.
But they can't bring the child to the SIU office to call home. I like the idea that the child has to call home.
this is just
Yeah,
like
no, it's-
stuff's thrown around, but I just,
Right. No, I think
I
it's something
think-
for further discussion.
all this would be a moot point for me. if it didn't get to, you know, a negative $100 balance or a negative $50 balance before someone finally gets, said, what's going on with this, and finally gets the notification. I understand we're supposed to be giving the notices out for when we, within $10, but we didn't get a pre-delinquent notice, or whatever you wanna call it, until it was $20 in the hole.
So, of course, the system has some holes. You're not gonna get an email if we don't have you registered as an email. So, and there's a lot of parents out there that we don't have their email. And because we do so many mailings each week, we cut it back to a month, because we're spending a ton of money sending home these flyers saying, hey, you owe us money.
Oh, are you still sending home paper?
We are, to the higher ones, yes.
Okay.
We're trying to iron it out so that we don't have to do as many, which is why we implemented the emails. But we can only do
Right.
so many emails because we don't have everyone's email.
Okay.
All right, we'll keep revisiting.
Well,
this
that's
next
frustrating
time.
if we're spending even more money.
Okey-dokey.
Any public comments?
Yeah, the one, just earlier, Paul was right on the money. When the School Boards Association is not willing to indemnify you, they are not responsible for the school board's decisions. That's not their money at risk. What I wanted to go back almost more than 2 years ago, when we first started looking at computers. And the issue was that the software was a developmental issue on the hardware. And unless there was a structural sequence where there was built-in testing, where there was built-in progress that could be tracked by the student, built-in progress with teacher analytics built into the software, we were spending 10 cents to buy the machine, but not willing to spend the $1 for the proprietary program. And from the outside, what is still missing is that for program X in course load Y, you want 1, 2, 3 criteria. And the ABCO company will do it, and the DEFCO company won't. And you just need the criteria for that decision. And that's without knowing what you want the program to do. I have not heard that discussion that these are the ideal criteria of a feedback proprietary system in any of the academic areas. The more important one is recommendation for trees. I have a fondness for Mountain ash because it flowers in hard soil. And that's a good comment for Lou herself.
Mountain ash.
Mountain ash, wonderful, not quite red, but it's an orange-red berry, and they are a lovely ornamental tree, and they tolerate harsh conditions.
Now, if everybody gets a chance at the SCU, Donna is leaving. She got herself another job.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Tomorrow, she's here tomorrow? Or she's not here tomorrow?
No, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday will be her last day. If everybody would like to say goodbye to her, please stop in and say goodbye to her. She was our receptionist. She's truly gonna be missed also.
Thursday next week.
Wednesday of next week. Yeah. She's going to Sanford, Maine?
Maine, where Maine?
Yeah,
Where? What
school
school?
district.
Which one?
You go in the SAU office.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, no public comments. I guess we're all set. I need a motion to go. Oh, you got
Sorry.
some? That's all.
A couple things that I think probably should be done before we go into non-public.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had discussed approving the MOU.
Oh,
No.
We don't do that in non-public.
Okay. And then the other one is the minutes.
yeah, we have an issue with the, yeah, go ahead, tell them.
January 11th minutes, where we had a public hearing for the school, or the van. The trustees made a comment that the number is wrong. We didn't correct it right. So it says Paul motion for the 26,702.01, but the amount was supposed to be 24,166. So the trustees are saying that we need to we have to adjust it in some way, either saying up to 26,702.01, or just change the amount to the 24,166.
Is that what was on the notice for the public hearing?
Yeah,
So we had the wrong figure.
we just had the wrong figure,
Okay.
and we
Unbeknownst
just didn't
to-
catch it.
The van's always purchased.
Yeah, but in order for us to get
Yeah,
refunded, we have to correct this.
And it's less.
Change it
I
up.
don't
It
see
was
anyone-
24,000.
So it shows 24,166, but in the vote, it was a motion for the
Right,
26,702.
how much did the van cost?
24,166.
Okay, so
So just make a motion.
I'll make a motion up to
Yeah.
24,100.
26.
26.
Oh, 26?
26.
By Joe,
I'm adding up to,
26,702.10.
Yep.
so by fixing those minutes, or I'm just noting in these minutes? You're asking for me to go back and fix those minutes, yes?
At this point, I'm asking for the board to approve the revision. I'd have to ask Kathy as far as going back to the original. Because if it's written here, I don't know that you have to go back to the original.
As long as it's written
It'll
in
be
these
in these
minutes.
minutes tonight.
so what,
But I'll
So this
double
is
check.
just a
now
revision.
give me that figure again, 26,
Yep, 26,702.10.
10 cents? Up to 26,702.10 cents. Do I have a second?
Second?
Oh, go ahead.
Second?
Paul,
Aye.
Doug, aye. Peg,
Okay, aye.
Stephanie,
Aye.
it's been corrected. Anything else you got?
I'm all set, thanks.
Now, I apologize to everybody, I'm not up to my part tonight. Try to improve.
You're doing okay now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing-
need a motion to go into non-public?
I give a motion. I make a motion.
All right.
Second, Peg?
Thank you.
Paul?
You're aye?
Yep, Doug, aye?
Peg, aye.
Jerry, aye.
Okay, at,